Mars is one of Minecraft's biggest competitors. It takes place in a 2D world instead of a 3D world, but you still have a ton of freedom to explore as you so choose. The game includes building, crafting, mining, boss fights, and all sorts of other activities. You also get customizable controls and varying world sizes in case you want something massive or smaller. The game was completely redone not too long ago and it's now basically on par with the PC version of the game. It's definitely one of the greats in the genre. Sky, Children of Light is something a little bit different in this genre. It's an open-world game, but it does not feel like a GTA or Minecraft experience. Instead, players drift around the world to explore all of its oddities. It's a bit like Portal Knights where there are 7 different areas to explore but you are free to explore them at your leisure. So purists may not identify it as a true open-world game. In any case, it's really enjoyable and we quite like the art style and atmosphere of this one. It's a lot more relaxed than most others in the genre. Portal Knights is an open-world action RPG with some sandbox elements. It has all of the usual RPG stuff like level progression, a storyline, boss fights, and plenty of things to collect. However, the game includes a creative mode where you can build your own island and the world is randomly generated a lot like Minecraft. You can also play multiplayer with other people as well. It's a seriously underrated game and it's surprisingly cheap for how big it is. You can also play it free with Google Play Pass. RuneScape is one of the most popular MMORPGs of all time. It's also been around for almost 20 years. It's an open-world MMORPG with both solo and cooperative play. There are a ton of missions and quests to play through, items to collect, gear to equip, and more. The game also has one of the deepest player-driven economies of any game. The free version includes most of the game. You get additional skills, a larger world, more quests, and 400 extra bank slots if you go with the subscription service. Pokémon Go might be the most open-world game ever. Players explore the actual, real world and use the augmented reality features in the game to actually play. There are gyms and Pokestops all over the actual world and you travel there in real life to either battle or collect items. The game evolved quite a bit from its early days. You can battle trainers, take over gyms, collect items, walk around to hatch eggs, and complete missions within the game. The game has the occasional bug and long-time players are getting a little burned out, but the game is fun and family-friendly. Oceanhorn is an adventure game similar to the Legend of Zelda series in terms of mechanics. The player gets a series of islands to explore and each one has its own little open world. There are various puzzles, mini-games, and things to collect along with the story. It's technically not open world by the truest definition of the word since there are multiple areas. However, you can explore them as you so choose so you get the same effect. It's not nearly as good as a Legend of Zelda game. Minecraft is one of the most popular open-world games on any platform. The survival mode is a pure open-world experience. You can mine resources, craft things, build stuff, kill bad guys, go fishing, and even traverse to alternate worlds. There is a creative mode that is open world, but it's more of a sandbox experience than an open world one. You can play solo or with friends and build some truly ridiculous stuff with some patience. They are entirely optional. There is also Minecraft Earth Google Play link if you want to play the game in the real world. Mad Out 2 Big City Online is another adventure game with elements similar to Grand Theft Auto. You can steal cars, fight people, shoot stuff, and cruise around the open world. However, this one also borrows some elements from racing games and lets you do things like customize your cars, race people, and do other stuff. The game also features over 40 cars, various missions, and there can be up to 100 players on a map at once. It's a neat experience overall, but not quite as polished as Gangster Vegas or GTA. Genshin Impact is one of the newer mobile open-world games. It's very reminiscent of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. You get a huge open world to explore and you can crawl over every inch of it. The game even gives you a glider to make traversing larger distances a little easier. In terms of gameplay, it's an action RPG with some light gacha elements. Extra characters unlock through quests rather than pulling them with in-game money like most gachas. We quite appreciate the attention to detail in this one, and it should remain popular and good for quite a long time. Gangster Vegas: World of Crime is one of the oldest open-world games on Android. It's a riff-off of the popular Grand Theft Auto franchise. The player is dropped into a city and can traverse the city at will while completing storyline missions and side quests. There are also a plethora of mini-games such as the casino, racing challenges, collectibles, and other stuff to keep the player busy. Dawnstar of Pocket Edition and Dawnstar of Shipwrecked are two excellent open-world survival games. You get dropped onto an alien world where you must make ends meet on your own. It features a classic survival theme with some modern twists. There are things to collect, craft, and build while you explore the game world. The game also includes multiple biomes and seasons. The only real downside are the controls. The touchscreen controls are a little iffy, but it does play a lot better on a controller. Crashlands is one of the truly great open-world games on mobile. It's an adventure game with RPG elements. Players end up stranded on a planet and must retrieve the packages they promised to deliver. There are over 500 items to craft, a large world to explore, and players can even build bases and tame creatures. To top it off, the game includes cloud saving and cross-platform support. This is one you can sink your teeth into and play for a very long time. It's also free if you use Google Play Games. Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition is a port of the popular open-world RPG from the early 2000s. It features a long, complex storyline along with a massive world you can explore at your leisure. It's a faithful recreation of the original and plays just like the original sans the touchscreen controls. We do recommend this on larger displays since the UI can be a bit cluttered. Otherwise, it's an outstanding RPG experience. There are in-app purchases, but the only thing you can buy are voice packs for your character. The game also includes all of the DLCs from the original. The game has not seen an update since 2018, but the developers are working on a rather large patch as of the time of this writing. Survival Evolved is an open-world adventure game with survival and other gameplay elements. Players try to survive a landscape rife with dinosaur life. You can build a base, tame the various dinosaurs for your own use, craft things, and build stuff. Additionally, there is a social element. You can play with or against other players and even join tribes for more cooperative play. The game is free to play with an optional subscription.